Hi guys. Let me tell you, the moon was in Scorpio yesterday, right? And I actually have some pretty heavy influence, Scorpio influence in my chart. A lot of Scorpio influence, okay? But there was this weird feeling. Sorry. Not necessarily bad, but just a weird kind of feeling. Until, I don't know, a couple hours ago, I just looked up the moon. The moon just moved into Sagittarius. Literally. It's at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. So we got a Pisces sun, a Sagittarius moon. Moon is your, okay, so sun is your soul. That's why your sun in most situations in a day-to-day basis in astrology, your sun sign means nothing. It means absolutely nothing when it comes to horoscopes. Like when you read a horoscope, you don't want to read your sun sign. You want to read your rising sign. That's why a lot of people, they read, their sun sign and they think astrology is complete hooey because they're reading the wrong thing. You don't read your sun sign. You read your rising sign. Anyway. And it'll be much more accurate. I actually read both. I read my rising, sometimes I read all three. Rising, moon, and sun. So your sun is your soul. Your moon is your emotional nature. Mercury is your style of communication. Venus is what you love. Mars is how you do it. How you get things done. Jupiter's your luck. Saturn's your teacher. Uranus. What shall we call Uranus? Excitement? Yeah. So anyway, those are your top ones. Right now we've got Sun in Pisces, Moon in Sagittarius. Pisces is water. Moon in Sagittarius is fire. We've got Mercury and Venus in Aries, which are both fire, and they're both retrograde. So they'll be making a trine to this moon. I don't know, week maybe? Cancer. Mars is in Cancer, which is a water sign. Jupiter's in Gemini, which is a air sign. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waters. 1, 2, 3, 4 fires. 2 airs. 1 earth. Yeah, and that's going to intensify probably more so fire and air. Okay. Runes. We got a chakra. We've got a rune. And we've got, I think it's a Roman. Oh man, hang on. Okay. So, what do we got? We got Algis protection. Protection, defense, instinct, group effort, guardianship, spirit, protection, fortunate, new influence, making at the conjunction with the soul and working through your issues. So that's this one. And I'll tell you what, That actually would be a great rune necklace. Yeah. So anyway, if you're interested in rune jewelry, mysticmoonshop.com. Click on the link and go to symbol necklace or symbol jewelry. Yeah, they're in there. I've got rings, necklaces, but I like the fact that this is a protection. Protection, guardianship. We all need protection, right? Okay, this one is not Roman. It's witchy rune. And it stands for woman. Feminine, healer, home, creativity, nurturing, rejuvenation, and psychic. And then we also have so we have a woman who's being protected. That is what these runes are talking about. And then we have solar plexus chakra. So somebody's trying to get into the solar plexus energy for this woman, obviously. It's a feminine energy. There's protection on her, and somebody is trying to infiltrate her solar plexus chakra. Yellow, fire, sight, feet and legs, power, self-centeredness, self-respect, self-control, activity, personal will, control, passion, expansion, inner fire, vanity, pride, and violence. My. It's getting hot out there. It's getting hot out there in the lands. It's getting hot. Okay, I didn't, I should probably do these real quick. Anyway, the energy is a little strange, I've noticed. It's not typical. It's not like, overly bad, but definitely, you can see a lot of deception in the energy. Can't believe anything right now. You really can't. I may as well go ahead and do these because I might just use them today. I always have them up. I just haven't used them much. So let's see. Today is the 19th. Guess what? Tomorrow or Friday is the equinox. Yeah, baby. So that means the sun. Oh yeah, the sun is in Pisces at 29 degrees. So the sun's getting ready to move into Aries. Aries is a cardinal sign because it starts a season. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll have 4 or 5 planets in fire. Wow. Tomorrow we will have Moon in Sagittarius, Mercury, Venus, Chiron, and Sun in, Neptune. Neptune and True Node goes the other direction. Neptune is pretty close to going into Aries. That's gonna be some energy. When all those planets decide they're gonna go into Aries, oh my. So Aries is cardinal. and it's the sign for action, and it is ruled by Eris, the god of war. The present, the situation. Tower in reverse. Let's see. Things look better than they are. An Ace of Swords is clarity. Six of Wands is a victory. And a Four of Wands is no marriage. Somebody getting a divorce. Yes, someone is getting a divorce. A long journey, physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Beware of greed. Fair woman, dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. That's what she looks like. Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Okay, so that's it, really. Somebody's getting a divorce. Not to minimize their divorce, but... Okay, and the problem is somebody's a star. Need to know you have the power to go for it. Waiting. Being in denial. Not happy. Is this about hope? Yeah. Okay, so it's not about a star. It's actually about hope. Having hope. And hope is upright. But yeah, I think it's just this person, whoever this is, has high hopes for what happens after they get a divorce because they're not happy right now. Yeah, that's exactly it. Door. Opportunities are waiting for you. So this is somebody with ambitions, possibly. Cup. You should accept valid criticism. Maybe they're not in the right. July. That's a pretty card. Look at that. July. Fox. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Okay? Pretty matter of fact. Don't really have any questions or any concerns. Looks pretty typical. In the past, we had strength, Ace of Pentacles, King of Swords in the reverse. Hierophant in the reverse. And a decision between two things. So somebody had strength. Or was attempting strength. King of Swords in the reverse is not good. Somebody left a relationship, yes. But that one was not a marriage. That's why the Hierophant's there. And the guy was a liar. And this is a feminine energy that we're reading. Okay, so it took a lot in this relationship in the past. There's acceptance. There is a King of Swords in reverse, which is somebody who lies a lot. They're kind of cold. Often they're not compassionate, loving, caring type people. They're more mental, and they could be really like badly mental if they're in the reverse. But Hierophant in reverse as well is somebody that was not pleasant to be with, and they weren't married. They weren't married, and they had to make a decision between two things. So they left. Now, we're in a situation, I wonder if is this the same person? So the Tower isn't about a divorce. The Tower is actually about something going on with these people. Yep. And it has something to do, because not married came up twice. And the Tower. And things look better than they are. Clarity. A victory. Something is off. Something is off. All right. So the Tower in reverse is not a divorce. It's talking about the fact that there was no marriage, and it's talking about it twice. There was no marriage in the past. There is no marriage now. And whatever is happening because of this marriage that never happened. The goal. Oh, what am I looking for? Don't ask me why I pulled that, but that was futility. Futility in reverse, actually. I don't know if any of those are in reverse. The goal and what we're working towards. Carefree. Go with the flow. Somebody who's impatient, lying, chaotic, the devil in reverse, the magician in reverse. Oh my God. And the page of cups. So futility is about putting in effort to something that you expect to get back. You know, you expect to get some kind of abundance from the thing that you're putting the energy into. But when it's upright, it's like you realize that you're never going to get anything out of whatever it is that you're doing. In this case, it's in the reverse. I didn't mean to pull it, but we're going to call it because this would be somebody thinking that this is not whatever this goal is, whatever this, which it looks like a new beginning in love. Yeah. New beginning in love. And it's not a futile act to be going for that. And they're just going carefree. They're being carefree. They're going with the flow. But they've got a lot of stuff about it being immature and in a hurry and not having what they need. And how about this devil? Is this negativity? Bondage. Being owned. Being owned. Let's see what the T says. Vase, a secret admirer. That's kind of creepy. Vine, seek out information that will help you. Target, a goal-oriented person. Plenty of material things. Butterfly, a change for the better. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Not really sure exactly what's going on yet. The unknown or hidden. No ending and no new beginning. Working with hands. Remembering the past. No obstacles, no barriers. And a Queen of Swords. What to do? The Queen of Swords. She's not going to take your shit. That's pretty much, she won't take your shit. Yes. She's a Queen of Swords. She's not going to put up with your shit. The Star. Grapes. Time to go out and have some fun. Marriage. Purse. Pay attention to your finances. Ant. Work, achievement, success. So, is this about the Queen of Swords? The Queen of Swords is the Star. No. The problem, oh, she wants to be. She wants to be a star. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. So in her mind, she is. She wants to be the star. And this is the fair woman. Yes, okay. So the fair woman. Okay. Tell me about the fair woman. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Conditioning. Receptivity. Transformation. So she's going through some type of transformation. So she pretty much wants to get out there and experience life. And somebody is trying to hang on to her. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly it. Okay, near future. Leadership. Defending something that doesn't need to be defended. The Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. The King of Pentacles, or the King of Wands in reverse. And a face-to-face meeting. Union. She is going to get into a relationship with the King of Wands. And who doesn't have money? The King of Wands doesn't have money? No. Okay. It's the King of Wands in reverse, too. So he's not very motivated. He's probably lazy, doesn't want to work. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Torch. September. February. So something's going to happen in February. Actually, February is already ended, so this must be next February. Next year, February. Near future, she meets him. Then there's something that happens in September, something that happens in February. And it is a spiritual Spiritual development and enlightenment, awareness and understanding. So, karmic, karmic relationship. Fair woman, karmic relationship. What to do? Knight of Cups. Love. Could be communication. Ships not coming in. No Emperor. Regret. We're crying over spilled milk and a lot of work to do. Don't go with the King of Wands. Do not get in a relationship with the King of Wands. Yes, he is actually an Emperor in reverse. Looks like long distance communication. Yep. Yeah, so there's a distance. He's rebellious. Tuning in and consciousness. So it looks like maybe he's working on himself. Experiencing. So he's working on himself, but he has a lot of work to do. Yes. And it will lead to regret. Outside influence. No life changes. No moving on to peaceful, calmer waters. Budget your money. No money. No big money. No, no good money. Secrets. Secrets, yes. Secrets. And an emotional, financial roller coaster. Hopes and fears. Lacking. Financially lacking, but it could be lacking in other ways too. Lovers, options, fulfillment. It's not. It's about love. It's about possibly a sexual connection between the two. Yeah. And it will not be good. No. Yeah, so in like every way, this guy is not good. This guy is not good. So for you, if you were in a long-term relationship, you were having a hard time hanging on, there was no marriage, you're still not married, you were with somebody who was kind of a liar, like he might have been like somebody who kept saying, yeah, we're going to get married, yeah, we're going to get married, and then never did. That's probably why he's coming up. He comes up, actually the King of Swords in the reverse is a man who lacks commitment, who cannot make a commitment, who won't make a commitment. All right, so she was in a relationship with him. She left him. Her goal is to just be carefree, go with the flow, and hope for a new relationship, meeting somebody. She will actually meet somebody. Yep. Now this King of Swords is gone, right? Okay. Yeah, she was not happy. And it does say what to do, make a decision between two things. So leaving and staying. So she's concerned about compatibility with this King of Wands now. This King of Wands is coming in. She's going to be concerned. So if you've just met somebody or you're getting ready to meet somebody soon, he's actually an Emperor in reverse. He is attempting to, he knows he's got problems. He knows he's got things he needs to work on. And he is working on them. He is no leader. So he may act like he is, a boss, a leader, but he's not. He actually has a lot of work to do in that category. And he's working on it, but could take some time. And he was very rebellious in the past. Okay, the outcome. Sleepless nights, worry, stress. Nobody wants that. Queen of Cups, which is an empathic, emotional. So she knows something's not right. If she got together with this King of Wands, it looks like that is the direction. It's not going to be good. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Worry, stress. It shows her being quite empathic, being highly emotional. There's lying, cheating, stealing. There's something about unexpected communication, heavy burdens. So he's cheating? No. Financial. Okay, so it's financial. He's lying about his finances. So the Queen of Cups is the Queen of, See, they're both upright, so. But he's in the reverse. And I've said, how many times? If you go back and you watch my spiritual insight videos, I talk about energy, like being on the same page with energy. If you've got somebody in tarot that is showing up in the reverse continuously, in the reverse as the King of Swords, in the reverse as the King of Wands, in the reverse as the King of Pentacles, if they're continuously showing up as in the reverse, and the other one, whether it's male or female, is showing up always upright, then they're not equally matched. They don't have the same morals, they don't have the same values, they don't have the same goals, they don't have the same desires. They're very, very different people. So you have to be very careful about that, because it's all about energy. Everything is energy. And this King of Wands in the reverse, excuse me, I just had some Tabasco. And mama mia. All right, so let's see. Let's look at tea. Tea on what to do. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Bouquet. Compliments from admirer. You feel something is lacking in your life. Perhaps love, money, or goals. Barrel. Yeah, this is where they're talking about the King of, or the Emperor being in the reverse. He doesn't have a whole lot of financial stability, and he's got a lot of work to do. And I would say that this is financial because it's pentagrams, but I kind of have a feeling they're talking about his attitude, his mental capacity, and the way he. Yep. So it's kind of an all around thing. He needs to work on his finances and his stability, but he also needs to work on his attitude. Um, he could be somebody who has, he has like bad projections about money. Maybe he has bad projections about work, which actually coincides with this King of Wands in reverse. King of Wands in reverse is a lazy person. King of Wands in the upright is a very motivated, get things done type person. So he's coming up as a reverse. That would indicate that he is actually a lazy person. And then he's also coming up as the Emperor in reverse, which means he's not a leader. So he's not a go-getter. He's not, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to make his dreams come true. Apple, temptation will test you. Cat, a two-faced friend. Yeah, he has a lot of work to do. Ink pot, problems to be resolved. Not that he isn't a good guy. Not that, he couldn't be a good partner to somebody, just not to this person. She's not going to put up with his crap, first of all. She might put up with it for a while. She might, give him, room, give him time to see what he does with her, but he's not going to do anything with her, and it's going to piss her off, and she's going to become highly emotional, heavily burdened. She's going to be worrying, she's going to be stressing, and she's not going to put up with it. She's going to leave him. Energy. Energy is more important than anything. Burdens. Key, successful outcome to your problems. Yeah, just don't go there. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yep. Queen of Cups. Wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to just ramble aimlessly. Lies, lying, cheating, stealing. Sorrow over a loss. A dark man, dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. Romance is in the air. So now we're moving into some other. Lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. Okay. Anything else you would like to? Nope. Nope, just watch your energy. Make sure that you're meeting people who match your energy. If you're somebody who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and, goes out jogging, and you get together with somebody who doesn't get up until noon and eats instead of jogging, something along those lines, then you're not equally matched. It will not last. You will struggle through the relationship. It will feel like it'll feel really bad. It'll feel like you really need to get the hell out. Um, if you if you're away all the time, let's say you have a very, well, you hear about it all the time with like movie stars that are really hot, upcoming, they're doing a lot of movies, they're never home, they're in relationships, and their relationships don't last. They're not equally matched. The energy is not equally matched, and nobody wants to be in a relationship sitting around waiting for the other person to show up to be in the relationship. That's just the bottom line. Nobody wants that. So if somebody is willing, if somebody is willing to say, I mean, I kind of wonder sometimes, how much is too much? Yeah, you ever wonder how much is too much? You look at people who are making, hundreds of thousands of dollars in money, or millions of dollars, for movies or whatever, and they just continue to go for it. I was reading something about Bruce Willis and Demi Moore a couple weeks ago. I don't know, I was waiting somewhere and I was reading an article, and they were talking about how, I think it was Bruce was making movie after movie after movie. He was very, very busy. And, or maybe it was her. I don't know. One of them was gone all the time. They were having a very difficult time keeping their relationship together because one was gone all the time. And I think the same thing happened with her and Ashton Kutcher. One of them was gone all the time. And it was as if they weren't even in a relationship. And they ended up, closing out the relationship or getting a divorce because they didn't see an end. My question is, when you make millions of dollars and you have made millions of dollars, at what point do you say enough is enough? At what point do you say, and matter of fact, that came up. It came up in this thing about greed and the star and the star. At what point is enough? Enough. It seems to me like, if you look at like Hollywood, or you look at a lot of things, it doesn't have to be just Hollywood. Could be politics, could be, I don't know, could be anything. Where people, they make, hundreds of millions of dollars and they're still not stopping. They still will not call it. They still will not go home and spend time with their family. What is the point of having a freaking family if all you want to do is make money? You don't want to be at home. Don't bother having a family. Don't have a wife, don't have kids, because they're never going to see you if that is your mindset, if that is your mentality. And your wife married you to be a family, to be, a couple, or have kids, or whatever. When do you say, okay, I've made enough money, I don't need to make any more? The people that I admire are the people that go and they do whatever they're going to do with their career, and they make, X amount of dollars, and they say, that's it, I'm going home and I'm going to be, who was it? Olivia Newton-John, I think. And you can say, oh, well, she was I don't know. She was something, and that's why she couldn't get a job. I don't think that's true. I think some people have the ability to say, okay, I own my home. I have 5 cars. They're all paid for. My expenses are fairly low. I enjoy spending time with my family, and I'm not going to work anymore. I mean, what a freaking concept, right? Isn't that what we all strive for? Isn't that what we're doing? We don't work for the sake of working for the rest of our lives until the day we die. We work hard to build up money to be able to afford a comfortable lifestyle that is stress-free, debt-free, pay off your house, pay off your cars, pay your taxes, in advance, because you never know what's going to happen. And then just enjoy your freaking family. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, don't get married. And I think a lot of people do actually do that. They think that they're just going to work for the rest of their lives. If I was married to somebody who had pretty much everything they needed and was still working, I would be like, gee, I think I'm going to go marry somebody who actually wants to spend some time with me. Maybe go marry somebody who wants to spend time with me and the kids. I appreciate being taken care of, and I appreciate, nice things, but it really doesn't take that much to live a good life. It really doesn't. And then, kind of opens up the door for somebody else to prosper. Can't have one person prospering all the time. Greed. That's what that is. Greed. There's a lot of greed these days. I gotta tell you, there's a lot of greed out there. And it's killing people. And it's making them look like idiots. Anyway, love and blessings.